Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to make tennis roll or dinner roll Guyanese style. So the first thing you need to do is to activate your yeast, and you do this by adding 1 tablespoon of sugar and your yeast into a bowl with your water. You need to cover it with a clean kitchen towel or a cling wrap and set it aside for 5 to 10 minutes. After your yeast is activated, you'll notice there are some bubbles at the top or foam. You take your milk and you throw it into your yeast water mixture. Then you add all of your butter into that mixture as well. You give it a stir to combine all of those ingredients together. At this point, you take your flour and you add the remaining sugar into it along with the salt. Then you give it a quick stir with your fingers to incorporate all of the dry ingredients together. If you notice just now I poured something into the yeast, milk, butter mixture. It was essence. I forgot to do that in the initial stage, so you can do that up front if you want. You make a well into your flour and then you add your wet ingredients into your dry ingredients, but don't go pouring all at the same time. You do this in stages. You throw a little, you mix it up, you throw a little, you mix it up. In this way you ensure that everything is being incorporated well. The method I'm using to incorporate the dough with the wet ingredients, I call it the claw and squeeze method, because you have your hands like a claw and you take that and you mix it around, and periodically you squeeze the dough together so that all can be combined. If you're using lemon zest, you can go ahead and add that in now. I don't know why I didn't add it in before, but I will do so shortly. In the kneading process, it will be combined. You need to knead this dough for about 3 to 5 minutes. You'll get a soft, stretchy dough. And you just basically fold the corners in or fold it upon itself. It's nothing hard. Look how simple I'm doing it. Gotta put a little elbow grease into kneading. So you turn the dough over and you punch it down with your fingers. You punch and turn, punch and turn. What I did there is just add the remaining milk that was in the cup and the little butter that is there. I need all my ingredients to be into this mixture. You continue to punch and then you fold the dough into itself. If for any reason your dough is a little harder than you would like, you can go ahead and add 1 to 2 tablespoons of warm water or lukewarm water to your dough so that it will be able to be soft. You don't want to add too much so that it's going to be soggy and then you'll have to add flour. So on your surface, you can sprinkle lightly some flour, and then you transfer your dough from your bowl onto your surface to continue to knead. You will do this kneading roughly about 5 to 7 minutes or even 10 minutes, depending on your flour and your dough. You continue to fold the dough over on itself until it forms a soft, smooth dough ball. Feel free to use both your hands if you want. I personally love this stage of bread making process, the kneading. Your dough needs to be kneaded properly so that you can get the end result of the bread or tennis roll being nice and soft and not hard or dense. You know your dough is well kneaded when you poke your finger into it and it springs back. Notice that it's springing back. Therefore, your dough has been kneaded properly. If that doesn't happen, you need to knead your dough some more. Next, you take some oil or butter and grease the bowl, the bottom and the sides, and you also put some of that on your dough. The reason for this is so when you put it to rise for the first time, it can slide up and it will not stick to your bowl. You need to cover it with a clean kitchen towel or a cling wrap, and you leave it to rest for at least 1 hour. Some people leave their dough for more. It's all up to you. This dough that you're seeing here was rested for exactly 1 hour, and this was the first rise. The dough should have been doubled or tripled in size, and I personally like to do this part where you punch down the dough to release some of the gases that it's built up. At this point, when you put it on your surface, you do not need any flour. The dough will not stick to your hands. You need to knead it again for about a minute or so, and then form it into a log. To form the log, you basically just roll the dough into itself, as I'm doing here. You can make this log as long or short as you like. It all depends on how many tennis rolls you wish to have. It could be as thin or as thick as you wish. It's all up to you. I got 10 tennis rolls with my dough. Next, you can divide the dough by taking your hands and divide them, or a knife. I'm using a chopper, as you can see. Ten pieces, and these were reasonably sized tennis rolls. So the next thing we need to do is to roll the dough into a ball, but you're not just going to roll it into a ball. You need to open it a bit and then bring it up to the top and squeeze and rotate as you're seeing in me demonstrate. And then you take your hands and you twist and roll. You twist it to lock it between your hands and you roll. It's not a hard step to do, but with practice it makes perfect. You may not get it right the first time, but once you try and try again, you will get it eventually. It's not hard. You just put it in your hands and you roll it between your hands so that you can smooth out the bottom of the dough to make it into the ball. I'm going to do one more and you're going to see. Finish off doing the remaining dough pieces and you put it into your greased baking tray. I line my pan with butter since it tastes better. Everything is better with butter. What you want to do is not space them too far apart because they would have to rise for the second time, and the deal about it is that you try to let them have a kiss or smack basically, but not hug when they're rising, because as they bake in the oven they will rise again and it's just get bigger. If you notice, mine are just barely touching one another, and when it bakes it's going to be bigger and all will be touching, which gives a nice effect, you'll see. So you can preheat your oven for 5 minutes at a temperature of 375 degrees Fahrenheit and you bake for 20 minutes or until it's golden brown to the top. After baking, you brush immediately with butter. It may seem a little stiff to the top soon as it's finished baking, but that will all get soft when it's fully cooled. Do not remove from the pan as soon as it comes out of the oven. You need to let it sit and cool off on its own before moving it, so as to maintain its nice texture and softness. So once it's cooled, it's now time to see our finished product. See, it's not burnt at the top, it's not burnt at the bottom. Has the nice effect. I'll pull off another one and you'll see what I'm talking about. You see there, it's coming off nicely. That's Danish roll. So you can enjoy this however you feel. Sometimes I eat them just like that without anything in it. Or you can put butter, nut butter, cheddar cheese, processed cheese, any way you like. Jam, which is hardly likely. Most people don't really use jam and tennis roll, but you be what you want with your tennis roll. Is yours. See that nice texture? Very nice. I'm going to enjoy that. Now I'm going to add a piece of cheese to show you and to bring back memories of your childhood. If you're Guyanese living abroad and you cannot have tennis roll from Guyana, freshly baked or bought from a store, this is your recipe that you can use. Is very simple, very easy.